Let me tell you a story about a young bear who wanted to make another theory video but didn't have anything to say. But then he realized that there's something he was missing. The power of friendship.
Whoa there. How did he get there? From scary animatronics to, creepy fursuits. This theory will cover it all. Let's get started. Okay, copy and paste. Game theory, okay. Game theory intro. Non-copyright. Okay. And paste. Hello Internet, I am Helpy from Helpy and Friends, and I am gonna get sued. Okay. Now, before you click off this video, I made that whole edit of that game theory intro in like 1 minute. I'm just doing it because why not? But that's besides the point. Let's get straight to this theory on why the pizzeria that's way below the Fnaf 6 pizzeria is Fredbear's Family Diner. Now let me explain. You might be thinking, wait a second. Fredbear's Family Diner, that make no sense. Because Fnaf 6 was built, but then it was crushed by the mall. So how would Fredbear's Family Diner be built below Fnaf 6? It makes no sense. But I'm here to prove it to you. First, let's look at the time dates. Now, it might be a bit off, so correct me if I am wrong. First off, Fredbear's Family Diner. It was established or built in 1973. Which is way far back. We don't really know where it was located or placed. But now, Pizzeria Simulator, Fnaf 6, it's very confusing. It didn't really tell you what time it takes place, but people are speculating it's 2023 or 2024. Now, the Pizzaplex, on the other hand, people are speculating it takes place in 2029 or through 2025. Now, before you ask, Helpy, why do we even need this information? This will be important. So, first things first, let's take a deep dive into what even is below Fnaf 6. Which, if you take a snippet all the way to Fnaf Ruin, where you go underneath a tunnel, underneath Fnaf 6, you encounter this strange place. This place that looks very woodeny, very cabiny, and very coincidentally, Candy Cadet is there, and he tells us a story about a boy and his mother, and how the mother locked up a monster that was in the basement. Now that's a whole different story, and people can definitely sort of confirm that it is to do with Cassie and Mex, and how Mex was trapping the mimic so that it couldn't escape. But, we released Mex, and Grimmick, we say, has escaped. But it basically tells a story about how Mex trapped the monster, which is the mimic, underneath the Fnaf 6 area. Now, what is below the Fnaf 6 area? Well, that's a very good question. Now, if we go way past the wooden planks and everything, and we go even further down the stairs, we come across a room with a shut gate that you can only access by powering up the whole computer. Max comes and say, "Hello, what are you doing?" No! And then we bulldoze that wall and enter in a strange room. Now, it is very dark in there when the cutscene happens, and then that's when the whole Mimic shows up, and oh no! Mimic! You're not Gregory. But besides that, after the whole running part and everything, that's besides the point. We go back a little bit and we stay towards that room. Now, apparently Steel Wool finally realized that we like to glitch out and go out of bounds. And that's what we did. And when we went out of bounds, we saw different suits, you could say. Suits that are spread around the whole room. And even a secret suit that is not even in the game and it's only in the files. And what are these suits, you ask? Well, there are mascot suits of different animals. Now, whoa. That's nothing new. We got a whole Freddy Fazbear, all that type of stuff. But it's not new. But it is very old that it's a costume. Not even an animatronic endoskeleton has been placed in there. Not even spring locks. Which is very, very, very weird. Why wouldn't there be spring locks? I have no idea. Because it seems to be one of those mascot costumes that, like, for example, Chuck E. Cheese, where you see good old Chucky in a mascot costume. I am very sorry for any kids watching here that does not know that. You now know that. Oh, God, I hope I didn't ruin anything. But that's besides the point. Those mascot costumes are very, very old from old Dustin. Clanky stuff. Now, what's very weird to me is that we've never seen these people before. For example, there's a crow, a lion, definitely a lion, and an elephant. And what's very strange is that they really seem to have very old, let's say, 70s look. Which, surprise, when was Fredbear's Family Diner established? 1973. You see the similarities there? And the thing is, we've never really thought that much about Fredbear's Family Diner. And how we've only seen basically 2 animatronics that will confirm to be in Fredbear's Family Diner. I mean, we got the original gang. We already cleared that up. But there could have been more, you know? We never really saw the full layout of the place. There could be different coves. Maybe a little library for the crow. And maybe a little circus area for the elephants. We don't know. Now, what I can predict is that those suits were used, obviously, to entertain children and that type of stuff, but also as the first ever suits of the prototype of the spring lock. Now, the spring lock, which was used for Spring Bonnie, I'm pretty sure Fredbear as well, correct me if I'm wrong, but those are animatronics that use the spring lock function. Now, from what I saw, those suits do not use that spring lock function. They looked empty. There could be something inside, which also proves the point on how I think this is like a prototype of the spring lock suits. Now, why would William and Henry want to make a whole 3 characters that we all of a sudden don't know about, but, was in Fredbear's Family Diner. I think it's so they could try to see who could be the main mascot. They kept trying and trying all over again, and then you got Fredbear. Good old Fredbear. Now, the thing that could be a possibility is that if Fredbear wasn't really... actually, I'm going to save that for a whole new theory. Oh, no. Now for the main question you've all been waiting. Let's see. 10 minutes and 43 seconds. Why would Fredbear's Family Diner be underneath Fnaf 6? Now, I'm not saying it's the full diner. I'm not saying that. And there's a chance that, from what I can tell, it might not even be Fredbear's Family Diner. But I can make a theory on how those suits even got there. Now, there's a chance that Fredbear's Family Diner might have not been where we exactly were, but it could be somewhere really close. Because if the suits were just left there to rot, wouldn't you think Fazbear Entertainment would get them and put them on a display? For example, Glam Rock Cove or Rockstar Row, my bad. But there's just no mentions of them. They were a forgotten piece of history. Now, where would Fredbear's Family Diner even be? Well, let's look at the basic knowledge we got. So, there's a whole building underneath FNAF 6 that we really didn't get to explore, but it seems to have been having an interior and all that type of stuff. And it has this almost cabin-like old type of style. Now, would I say that Fredbear's Family Diner was exactly below FNAF 6? Obviously, no. But there are some, for example, vents and doors that haven't been answered. And an old elevator, which at the end of the game, Gregory drops you off to. And you fall, and you fall, and you fall. Saving it for the next DLC. What would I think the next DLC is? Now, this is going to be saved for a whole nother theory. As I said before, a whole new video. But I think that where Cassie will be dropped off to is none other than Fredbear's Family Diner. Now, what do you guys think about this silly nonsense that's gone over way past 8 minutes, which is now 13 minutes and something. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Do you guys sort of agree? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the